Hey guys, and welcome to the very first Unturned Monthly. This will be a new series that I will be doing every month where I will be covering every single update, blog, anything that comes out of Unturned, and I will be compiling it into one video. This will be a pretty long video. As you can see, this one's about 10 minutes long, so it'll be a pretty long video, but it'll include everything from the previous month. In case you missed anything from my channel, in case you're not subscribed, you should subscribe so you don't miss anything, but just in case you do, I have this new series of Unturned Monthly. Hey, what's up guys, it is the Santa Plays here, and today we are going to be covering everything that happened in the past month, so I guess let's get right into it. There is so much that happened, from the train to new updates to Unturned 4.0, so exciting, so again, let's get right into it. So to kick everything off, we have a new train. So this train is on the Yukon map. As you can see, I'm on Yukon, so yeah, here's the train. What you guys should be caring about is, look at these. There are now flatbeds, little trailers added to the end of the train. And if you watched my last video, the one that was like 3 weeks ago, it was covering the new train that was added, and obviously there was no I guess, cargo carts at the end. And they're still kind of buggy. There's some visual glitches, like there's nothing connecting the two, it's just kind of following behind. But I don't really care, since you can build on these, and they are actually attached to the train, and they actually work flawlessly when you go around corners. Like the first part, I'll try to find a corner. The train around it, and then the cargo beds like do accordingly, which is really nice. And I don't think this will be the last train added, but I don't know, since the train follows this whole like curve right here. It doesn't go through the whole map, like down to off limits and stuff, but yeah, this is where the train will spawn. Mine spawned right here, if you didn't see earlier. But yeah, they added suicide vests. Well, not exactly, but we'll get to that later.
Seniors are getting cranky!
Allahu Akbar! Allahu Akbar!
So yeah, they didn't actually add in a suicide vest per se. That was just the Spec Ops vest, and that was just for the video. They actually added in this thing called chewing gum, and it's pretty much a suicide vest. Nelson just wanted to make it more kid-friendly, I guess, so you're not committing suicide like a terrorist. But yeah, it's chewing gum, and it acts the same. You can run up to someone, eat it, and then it says you killed yourself with a remote detonator, but it's really just the chewing gum, which is a really interesting choice that he decided to add this in. I thought it was completely pointless when I first saw it, but I guess it really is a suicide vest. Okay, so the last in-game thing that I want to go over from this month is the storage system in cars. So he actually added in a trunk. So if we get in, we click G, up here, I thought it'd be up here, like the lock, the horn. It seemed like the trunk storage would be up here, but it's actually down here. And it's called Black Off-Roader Trunk Storage. It is a, let's see, 3x6 area to store, which is not bad storage, but maybe like bigger trucks like the Ural will have like a bigger, instead of 3x6, they'll have a bigger trunk space, maybe not. And something I want to see is if there's trunk storage on the Rainbow hatchback, because Nelson said he only added it to some cars because some were pretty glitchy and couldn't get all around all of them by the week's update. So let's see, because this is, oh yeah, Rainbow hatchback trunk storage, so I guess it is here, and I guess it's a legendary storage since it's in the Rainbow hatchback. I don't know, that's kind of interesting. Since it is a car, it should have storage. Okay, so we have the Hummingbird spawned in. I just want to see if this has storage, because it doesn't have a trunk, so why would it? Okay, I guess the Hummingbird does have trunk storage, and it's bigger than the car. So let's see, it's a 5x5, which is not bad. That's actually pretty good storage, especially for something that doesn't have a trunk, but I guess back here you could store stuff. So yeah, that's the new trunk storage system. So let's jump onto the things that are out of the game. So yeah, this is Unturned 4.0 gameplay. I'm sure most of you have already seen this, so if you've already seen it and don't want to see it again, skip to 7 minutes and 22 seconds where I break everything down and move on from this. Now if you haven't seen it, this is Unturned 4.0. This is the game mechanics, the shooting mechanics, everything from textures, the reloading, to free look, third person, first person, the graphics, and I guess everything like that. So enjoy these videos. This is straight from Nelson's blog. Let's get into it. Okay, so this is the third person view of the character model. We can see a ton of stuff with the character actually, about like his clothes, everything like that, but we're focusing on the gun for now. So we can see there's slow motion, free look, which is really nice. We can see the gun flare, and the bulls actually have like that tracer mat like coming behind it, which is really interesting design. Maybe that's just to see it like visually, maybe it'll be taken out later. But yeah, we can see the chamber sliding back, the magazine again. There's a third person free look. The vector, I think that's where the gun looks beautiful, and the audio of I guess the first person and the third person just sounds amazing. So the final things I want to point about 4.0 is the 3D textures. So as we can see, the clip is much smaller than the gun. It's not flat and aligned to the gun. It actually fits inside, unlike 3.0 and 2.0 and stuff like that. Okay, so moving on, we can see that the glove and the shirt, the t-shirt, is actually 3D and sticking off of his skin, which is really interesting, not flat and aligned like it was in 3.0. And the final thing to point out is the gun flare are all different like textures, so they don't all look the same, and it gives some variety. Now, if you didn't catch it, the magazine, the clip of the gun, it fell out and then bounced on the ground. So this is a completely new object separated from the gun entirely, and it's really nice that Nelson is putting in this detail. The final thing we can really gather from this is the character's model, not his clothes or anything like that, the actual character's model. Now this is interesting because we know on Nelson's blog a while back, he was deciding between a couple of different character designs and models, so it appears that this is the one that he chose, and that will end up in the final design of the game. Okay, so now I want to go over some reading that Nelson put out on his blog, and I've highlighted some key points so you can follow along to what I'm talking about. Okay, so basically Nelson wants Unturned 4.0 to be more PvE than Unturned 3.0 was. He wants it to be more focused on the zombies, the wilderness, surviving like that, hordes coming in, destroying your stuff, instead of just saving all your bullets for the people you may encounter like it is now in 3.0. So everything is working, single player co-op, it's working perfectly, but he doesn't have all the animations in. Some stuff he has is like sliding or diving while sprinting, and what he's showing us right now is the third person like animation, which is really cool because he thinks the third person is like looking pretty good at this point, and I agree with that. So there's probably going to be some minor changes, but this is what the third person will look like in Unturned 4.0, so I guess we're getting a really early tease of what the game's going to be like. At this point in the blog, I'm already super excited, but then he says this: he wants quality over quantity. Now 3.0, it was a great game, and that's why I've built a channel around it. But of course, it wasn't perfect. He only had 2 months to make some stuff, like he says earlier in this blog. And with Unturned 4.0, he's trying to make it the best he possibly can. So that's why he hasn't given us a release date, because he doesn't want to rush this thing to get it out by the time he said he was going to release it. So he's focusing on quality over quantity, and he's really proving that in this article. He says, features getting rewritten multiple times, deleting all the animations for the sake of redoing the character skeleton, etc. It seems the refinement process is also results in a lot more options. So he's deleted stuff and done it multiple times just to get it perfect for us, to have the most quality this game can possibly have, and I love that about Nelson. I'm going to love that about Unturned 4.0. And to conclude this video, thank you guys so much for watching. It was a really fun video to make. I'm so excited that all these things were added into Unturned, and that will be added into Unturned 4.0, very exciting. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I'm excited to be back. This is The Santa Plays, signing off.
You got to swing, but you got to save your soul.
Swing what you got for it gets old. When troubles get around, don't start in to frown. Just put on your dancing shoes